So yeah, I mean, now that fucking lockdown's been happening again, I guess we can call
for
off
the 17th time.
for the
or whatever it
17th
is.
time. I don't know. Lockdown in Japan has been weird, right?
It's just a roller coaster. It goes like the cases go up. They announce a shitty lockdown that's like 2 more rules added, and then the cases go down, and then they go back up again when they let go of restrictions. And then this has happened like the 4th time now.
Yeah.
So we're just doing the same shit over and over again. And
But this lockdown is the shortest ever. It's only 2 weeks or something.
Yeah, I think they're
I'm like,
lit-
what's going to change in 2 weeks?
I think they literally just wanted to be like, oh, Golden Week's happening. Let's have
so,
it
yeah.
not happen.
you
Meanwhile,
want to explain what Golden Week is to the viewers who don't know?
Yeah, so Golden Week is this week during the first week of May. As we're recording this, we're in the middle of it right now, where it's basically just a bunch of public holidays back to back to back to back to back. So I think, so basically people just get a week off.
Do you know how I remember Golden Week? It was the 1 week of the year, aside from like New Year's, where mangakas would take a break from their weekly manga schedule.
yeah.
So I'm just like, oh, One Piece is on break?
Yeah.
What the fuck's Golden Week?
Oda's like, thank God, finally.
Everything's on fire. Like, I didn't get One Piece this week.
That's the only reason I knew of Golden Week before moving to Japan.
Yeah, exactly. Well, because like I think, Japan needs Golden Week because Japan's one of the few countries that works on Christmas. Like Christmas is just like, I think everywhere else Christmas is like a public holiday, or at least like in Australia.
Christian world,
Yeah.
right?
Well, yeah, like in Australia, like it's like the second half of December until maybe the first week of January, like 3 weeks. It's just full on holiday.
Christmas here is just Valentine's Day 2.0.
Yeah,
It's just
basically,
It is.
it really
Who gives
is.
a shit.
Yeah.
But they were just like, oh, I don't have a partner. Finna work.
Yeah.
It's either you're on a date or you are working on something, right?
Yeah, exactly. So I guess like, to Japan, they need Golden Week because it's the one time where they're almost forced to take the week off.
Yeah.
Because otherwise they get, people still are just like, no, fuck it, it's still working week for me. But
Yeah.
My whole favorite thing of all the Japanese government's lockdowns is that they did during the whole pandemic, the government thought of this amazing idea called GoTo Travel. Which is just like,
Oh, yeah, that was a
this
thing.
is just the
Oh,
funniest
yeah.
this is the funniest fucking thing. So Japanese government, they were losing a lot of money, obviously, from tourism that they weren't getting. So in the middle of like the pandemic, this is like months ago. This is last year.
this is during the first lockdown, wasn't it?
Yeah. They were like, guys, we're losing too much money in our travel economy. We need to put some money back into it. What we're going to do is, guys, we're going to give you 30% off everything. And we're going to pay you money to go travel.
Yeah.
We'll give you $200 to spend, depending on how much you spend. And
You get coupons at your
Yeah,
destination.
so-
yeah.
they were like, oh, yeah, so like, it's a lockdown. But also, if you travel, 30% discount on
Hey.
anything.
Hey.
Here's some money to spend. Go treat yourself, king. But don't leave the house, though. But don't leave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, like, they realized it was like a colossal mistake. Like a month later, when the cases went up a fuck ton, because everyone's going to travel.
Exactly.
Wait,
It's
you
like,
mean you're paying me to travel and you don't want me to travel?
Yeah. Like if you went to like a 5-star hotel that's like $1,000, it would go down to like 600, and then you'd be given like $300 to spend. And it's like,
Yeah.
who isn't gonna do that? Like if you have disposable income,
It's like-
anyone is gonna do that.
it's like dangling a carrot in front of a horse and telling the horse not to run, right? It's like, don't.
I'm finna try to be responsible
Yeah,
here,
yeah.
but you Japanese government making me act up. You know what I mean? I want, I was like, well, shit, I'm going to Hokkaido. See
Yeah,
ya-
and
see
of
ya,
course,
guys.
everyone abused the fuck out of that system, right?
because
Everyone went traveling.
Yeah, because it was like, why wouldn't I?
I went to like 4 different places. I was like,
Oh my
I'm
God.
obviously not, because like literally everybody is going, right? So it's like, what's the point? What's the point of not going?
It was the most confusing period ever because they were like, don't travel, but please travel. Please travel. We need it for the
And then they
economy.
they
needs it.
shut it down like after
like a month.
Yeah.
Of course, it was a colossal mistake.
I mean, it
Then I went
makes,
to Hokkaido because I was like, fuck yeah. I didn't interact with anyone, but it was.
I think all 3 of us went to Hokkaido at different times,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, I mean,
why the fuck wouldn't I?
I went way after, and it was because you guys kept talking about Hokkaido, and I was like, okay, I think it's my time to go to Hokkaido as well. Waited for lockdown to end, and I'm just like, damn, this is they weren't joking around. Fucking Hokkaido slaps, man.
It's like middle of fucking nowhere, no one's there. It's like great.
Yeah.
It's like
it's
peaceful.
It's fantastic.
But it was just the dumbest thing ever because if they'd have just kept, like, this is the whole thing that the Japanese governments were doing where they just kind of haven't really committed to anything.
Yeah.
They haven't really told you not to do anything. They've been very wishy-washy.
I think that's the thing. Every restriction they've given seems very half-assed from my perspective. You know, it's not been like we've never been fully open, but we've also never been fully closed either.
Yeah, like they've never said you can't travel around. The worst thing.
Or
they've
if
done-
anything, they reward you for it.
Yeah.
And then they also said like, oh yeah, restaurants please close at 8. Like suddenly for some reason people are just going to magically stop getting infected before.
Right.
Yeah.
But, it's
I
a
mean,
lot of
this
shit
new
as well.
lockdown, they were like, restaurants can't serve alcohol anymore, right?
Yeah.
And I'm just like, so I'm still allowed to go to the
Yeah,
restaurant,
it's,
Yeah,
like, it's
but I just can't drink beer. Like,
it's generous to even call it like half measures. It's like
Like a quarter
1/10
measure.
Yeah.
is what they do. And I don't know. I don't really
But
care
that's-
about the
that's-
whole politics at all. But I wish they would just decide what they want to do.
well, that's the problem, isn't it? Is that like, unlike a lot of countries, the Japanese law, they can't force establishments to close down.
Yeah.
Like a lot of other countries, and so they're like, yeah, okay, so we can't force you to close down, but we advise you to not serve alcohol, to close after 8. But there's also like, from what I heard, there's like a penalty for like establishments that don't follow those rules.
But if you make
you
a fuck ton
get
of
a
money,
fine.
if you make
Yeah.
a fuck ton of money,
Yeah.
the restaurants that make so much money were
But
like,
that's the thing.
well, we'll just pay the bill.
The penalty is so low that there are a lot of restaurants out there, especially in like inner Tokyo, that are just like, we'll pay for the
Yeah,
penalty.
some
fuck it.
of like the biggest restaurants, I think, just pay the fine.
Yeah, they just
Yeah,
pay
and
the fine,
also-
but they make more off of the money that they made
Yeah, yeah,
from
yeah.
that, right?
And also, there were like the biggest that was like not even the fine. It was like, we'll put you on a list of companies that stayed open. And obviously, to a lot of Japanese people, that's pretty like, fuck, we're going to be on a list?
Yeah.
Fuck. But then to some of them, they were like, I don't fucking give a shit about
It's
lists.
like getting on the naughty list on Santa, right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
It's like, oh no.
It's so dumb.
Yeah.
So dumb.
That's the thing. This would have been, at least in
Well, 'cause
Japan.
Australia and New Zealand, like, totally locked down.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
New Zealand were like, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Australia
No one can do anything.
Australia
Yeah.
locked down for like 9 months.
Yeah.
Like fully.
Yeah.
And like people couldn't go outside for more than an hour a day. And like
Yeah, yeah.
all restaurants were closed, all that kind of stuff. And like, yeah. And then when in Sydney, at least, we got 1 case and the entire city went into lockdown for like a month.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Japan is like, 1,000 cases? Don't drink at restaurants.
Yeah.
It's like, cool, thanks.